Tonight on KGW News, a deepening crisis in Gaza.
It's absolutely horrific, the genocide and the mass starvation.
How people in Portland are pleading for more food and supplies to reach the war-torn area. Plus, a break-in at a bird sanctuary. The charges the intruder could face after letting injured birds escape.
It's a sad situation that people would mess with a bird that's helpless, defenseless.
And later, breaking the stigma around strippers.
I want people to see that we're like everybody else, you know, like we grocery shop, we do our laundry, we live in our houses, we pay our bills.
Meet the local dancer featured in a documentary about Portland's strip club scene. And thanks for joining us. I'm Catherine Cook. We start tonight with the crisis in the Middle East. Today, U.S. officials visited Gaza as more Palestinians say they were shot at while awaiting aid. U.S. Ambassador to Israel Mike Huckabee and U.S. Special Envoy to the Middle East Steve Witkoff were in Gaza today. The controversial U.S.-backed aid distribution site in Rafah is run by the Gaza Humanitarian Foundation. The foundation has been widely criticized for failing to improve conditions amid the starvation crisis. The United Nations says more than 1,000 Palestinians have been killed while trying to get food, hundreds of them near those sites. The foundation disputes that claim. And the escalating situation is prompting even more pushback here in the U.S. Alma McCarty joins us now with the latest from local demonstrators and lawmakers. Alma.
Catherine, United States senators in D.C. voted just this week on a resolution aimed at blocking U.S. weapon sales to Israel, a proposal that ultimately failed. However, a majority of Democrats did back it, including Senator Jeff Merkley, encouraging for pro-Palestinian protesters pleading for an end to this humanitarian crisis.
Outside Pioneer Courthouse Square Friday, calls to action continue.
We just have to raise our voices. We cannot allow such a thing to continue to happen.
It's been incredibly frustrating to see how little progress has been made over the course of the past 2 years.
Progress for a lasting ceasefire. It's what those here want to see.
And a ceasefire is so basic and isn't even the same thing as justice. It's just a halt to the slaughter. But that's still what we're pushing for right now.
I feel like it's a moral imperative for us to stand up during this time.
As frustrations fuel protests in Portland, Oregon lawmakers also voice their support of expanded humanitarian aid amid reports of extreme hunger and starvation in Gaza. On Friday, Congresswoman Maxine Dexter joined other congressional doctors sending this letter to the president, urging the administration to take action. And earlier this week, Senator Jeff Merkley posting this message.
The Netanyahu government continues to violate international humanitarian law by using food, or more precisely, the denial of food, as a weapon of war.
The Israeli government, however, has said there is no starvation in Gaza.
This is not a logistics problem. It's not a coordination problem. This is a political problem because we have unfortunately seen Israel blocking aid and commercial goods to only a tiny trickle getting into Gaza over the last several months.
Humanitarian groups like Mercy Corps explaining the dire situation on the ground. Their food expiring before it reaches civilians.
We really are at the point where we are nearing famine and mass starvation. We need to see greater political pressure to alleviate this catastrophe.
Alma McCarty, KGW News.
And developing tonight, one person is dead after a shooting in Hillsboro. It happened around 5 o'clock tonight. Police responded to reports of gunfire at the Extended Stay America on Northeast Cornell Road in the Tannisbourne neighborhood. They found one person dead and took a suspect into custody. At this point, police don't know what led up to the shooting, and they haven't released the identities of those involved. An update now on the Berdo fire burning on the Washington side of the gorge. Crews say the fire is now 94% contained. Those who live in the area are under the lowest evacuation level, and officials are dropping closure orders for most recreation sites. Dry leaves are dropping from destroyed trees, and that's raising the risk of a fire starting back up. Because of that, people who live in that area are being asked to keep a buffer around their homes. Let's take a look outside on this Friday night. It felt warm throughout the day. Chief Meteorologist Matt Zaffino joins us now with a first look at your weather impact forecast. Matt.
Hey, Catherine. Yeah, it's a really beautiful night out there. A great August evening, the first, of course, of the year. First August evening. It is 70 degrees right now with a clear sky. Northwest winds at 10. You'll see the moon up there, about a half moon. It's full next weekend. So what's ahead? Well, into next week we go, right? With another sunny, warm day tomorrow. Not quite as warm as today, so a little cooler, but it's still in the 80s. But a lot cooler on Sunday and cloudier in the morning especially. And then showers are possible next week. We'll dig into that a little bit more detail a little bit later on. But tomorrow looks great. 60 degrees in the morning, late morning 66, 74 in the afternoon, and then finally making our high of 83 in the late afternoon. Sunrise on your Saturday, 5:56, sunset now back to 8:37. Hey, there was another source of smoke in the gorge today, which I'll show you in a minute. First, the highs today, 86 in Portland, 87 in Hillsboro. And here it is, that smoke in the gorge, but it's not coming from the Berdo fire. It's coming from, well, I'll show you a little bit later on. It's quite a ways out there, but there was some wildfire smoke in the gorge today. Catherine?
Thanks, Matt. New at 11, Portland's strip club scene is getting global attention thanks to a documentary streaming on 2 major platforms. Christine Pitawanich introduces us to one performer who shared why she chose her path.
For years, Portland has been known as the strip club capital of the United States. According to the Oregon Historical Society, Portland has more strip clubs per capita than any other city in the U.S., with 1 strip club for every 11,826 people living in the state. And now a documentary streaming on Apple TV and Amazon Prime is giving us a look into the lives of strippers. At a ranch in Damascus, these horses are a huge part of Phoenix's life.
Go, 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 go. It's the little things in life, you know? I volunteer my time here with Corey, cleaning stalls, taking care of horses. There's just something so magical spending time with horses. They have an energy that I can't even explain.
Phoenix, a woman who thrives on energy in all aspects of her life, including her job as a stripper in Portland.
Welcome to the Devil's Point dressing room. We've got toothpicks, we've got little wisps, we've got Tylenol, we've got tape. You never know when you're gonna need tape.
It requires a lot of work.
Going to the gym, flexibility classes, aerial classes, massage therapy, chiropractic.
But Phoenix finds it rewarding. At her core, she's a performer.
Like the sound of the audience and hearing them gasp when you do a certain trick, I can't think of anything that feels as good. It's very powerful.
Phoenix is one of a number of dancers who appeared in Cheers, Portland, the strip club capital of America. It's a documentary about Portland's strip club scene.
We got about 200 hours of footage that we had to condense into an hour and 45-minute film.
Portlander Megan Ashley Allen directed the film, now getting global attention streaming on Amazon Prime and Apple TV.
I think people think dancers are, kind of someone to be pitied or someone that's down on their luck and has to, do something degrading to earn a buck. And I think that couldn't be farther from the truth.
And she says that stigma extends to patrons.
They think people that go to strip clubs are perverts, they're gross. And I found that, at least in Portland, anyone and everyone is going to the strip clubs.
Allen hopes people walk away from the film more open-minded.
I hope people are less judgmental. I hope that this type of work in these spaces are less stigmatized and more celebrated for the human connection that can be found inside them.
It's been almost 8 years, and this changed my entire life for the better. It gave me security, it gave me confidence. It allowed me to learn more about myself, create my own schedule so that I can put time and effort into other assets and facets of my life.
Back on the ranch, the parallels are there if you look close enough.
They're pretty bold. They're just so kind and so loving. It's hard to be in a bad mood around them. Hi, sweet boy. I want people to see that we're like everybody else. You know, like we grocery shop, we do our laundry, we live in our houses, we pay our bills, we take care of our family. Like we're just the same as everyone else. We just chose a different path.
In Portland, Christine Pitawanich, KGW News.
And Christine produced an expanded report on the documentary, and it's available to watch right now on KGW.com. To learn more, just text the word stripper to 503-226-5088, and we'll send you a link to the full story. And also new tonight, a popular gay club that was set to close its doors for good this weekend will now remain open. Yesterday on Facebook, CC Slaughters in Old Town announced the business is now for sale and is already in talks with potential buyers. According to the Post, the current owner will be retiring, but the club will stay open to the public while the sale and new ownership are finalized.
CC's is such a quintessential part of the Portland queer experience that to not have it would be such a detrimental loss.
I think it's essential that we support any and all queer spaces because they're so few and far between. We've seen this one on the chopping block too many times, and all we can do is support as many as possible.
The club will continue to operate during its regular business hours until further notice. To get you caught up now on tonight's other headlines. Today, a Gresham police officer facing more than 50 charges of sexual misconduct involving an underage girl pleaded not guilty. Officer Hector Carranza is accused of rape and sex abuse, among other charges. He's been with the Gresham Police Department since 2014 and is now on leave. This morning, the judge ruled Carranza will be held in jail. He'll be back in court on Monday. Multnomah County Central Library is making changes that they hope will stop criminal activity around the building. Their efforts come 1 month after a person was shot and killed across the street. According to the library's website, they've added 3 more contracted security guards, bringing the total number to 7. They're also adding security patrols around the building and limiting public Wi-Fi access to library business hours. The library director says they're reviewing current safety protocols and could make more changes soon. In Washington, new traffic equipment is in place to help stop wrong-way drivers. The state's pilot program placed special cameras and radar equipment at several locations in Southwest Washington. One of those spots is the 179th Street off-ramp on I-5 North in Vancouver. If sensors detect a wrong-way driver, lights will flash. If the car doesn't stop, an alert will go out to Washington State Patrol so they can stop them. And get ready to pay more to visit Oregon state parks. Starting October 1st, Oregon Parks and Rec will begin charging parking fees at 21 additional state parks. That includes Tryon Creek in southwest Portland and Crown Point in the Gorge. And starting next summer, overnight camping rates will also go up at the 29 busiest parks. The state says that extra revenue will help them maintain current service levels.